Sinsharishkun, who seems to have been the Saràkos of Berossus, was one of the last kings of the Assyrian Empire, followed only by Ashur-uballit II. Early years. He was the son of Ashur-uballit II and possibly the brother of the last Assyrian king, Ashur-uballit II. He is the last king who has years attested in most Babylonian records. Little is known about this king due to the lack of sources for his time. It seems that he ascended the throne sometime around 627 BC. After the death of the powerful Ashur-uballit II, the vast Assyrian Empire began to unravel, due to a series of bitter internal wars over who should rule. Sinsharishkun's rise to power was marred by severe violence, crippling internal civil war, and upheaval within the Assyrian Empire. He had to unseat the usurper Sinsharishkun after his older brother and predecessor, Ashur-uballit II, had previously been deposed by Sinsharishkun. During this confusion, a host of Assyria's many colonies and puppet states took advantage of the anarchy to quietly free themselves from Assyrian rule. Most the Chaldeans, Babylonians, Medes, Persians, Scythians, and Sumerians. Last strike against Babylon. After temporarily defeating his rivals, Sinsharishkun faced a much larger threat. Babylon, a vassal state of Assyria for 3 centuries, took advantage of the anarchy within Assyria and rebelled under the previously unknown Nabopolassar, the leader of the Chaldean peoples of southeastern Mesopotamia, in 626 BC. What followed was a long war fought in the Mesopotamian heartland. Nabopolassar tried to capture Nippur, the main Assyrian center of power in Babylonia, but was defeated by Assyrian reinforcements. However, Nabopolassar did manage to take the city of Babylon itself with the help of the Babylonian citizens, and was crowned king in the city circa 625 BC. Sinsharishkun, crippled by civil war in Assyria proper, then lost more ground before succeeded in recapturing Uruk in the far south in about 624 BC, only to quickly lose it again. Sinsharishkun led a large army to Babylonia in 623 BC to finally crush the Babylonian and Chaldean rebels. However, yet another major rebellion broke out in the Assyrian homeland. A relief army was sent back north but promptly joined the rebels, so that the usurper could reach the capital Nineveh without interference, and claim the throne. Chronicles for the next few years are mostly absent due to the civil anarchy in Assyria. However, eventually Sinsharishkun was able to quell the latest homeland rebellion. Crucially, precious time was lost to solve the Babylonian problem, with Nabopolassar taking advantage to entrench himself as ruler of most of Babylonia. In 620 or 619 BC, Nabopolassar successfully captured Nippur and became the master of Babylonia. However, he was forced to contend with Sinsharishkun's Assyrian armies encamped in the Babylonian heartlands attempting to unseat him for the next 4 years. War in the Assyrian heartlands. This stalemate ended in 616 BC, when Nabopolassar entered into an alliance with Saràkos, king of the Medes, who had also taken advantage of the unremitting civil wars in Assyria to free his Iranian peoples. The Medes, Persians and Parthians from the Assyrian yoke and formed them into a powerful force. In 616 BC, this alliance of peoples, now also including the Scythians and Sumerians, felt strong enough to move the center of operations northward and launch an attack on the war-ravaged Assyrian heartland. In the years that followed, Ashur-uballit and Nineveh were besieged and destroyed amid bitter fighting. The fate of Sinsharishkun is not certain, as the section of the Babylonian Chronicle in which he is mentioned at the siege of Nineveh is damaged. It is likely that he was killed defending his capital during Battle of Nineveh by Babylonians, Chaldeans, Medes, Persians and Scythians. Despite the loss of its major cities, an independent Assyria Assyria endured, centered on its last capital city of Haran under its last king Ashur-uballit II. However, this too was overrun by the alliance in 608 BC, and a final victory was achieved at Carchemish in 605 BC.